What it do, everybody in the world? This is your host, Merchandise Eddie Stanley. This is Caution Real Radio. And finally, after 8 long episodes, the ying to my yang, the catch up to my whatever, however you put it, my sidekick, the other person that's supposed to host it with me. But you know, when stuff happens, it happens. Jay, everybody.
Hello, humans.
See, there you go with that weird stuff. All right, but but yeah, today's show we want to actually touch on something that me and him went back and forth on. But yes, I feel sorry for everybody because this is going to be a show where it's gonna basically be about us agreeing with each other. But hey, you might agree too. If not, hey, well, it is my show, and oh well. Voice your comments. Special thanks to Full Vision Productions, for supplying the beats. I know last week I didn't really have it, but this week I have it. So big props to that production company, Full Vision.
We was doing the shmoney dance when it was on.
See, yeah, actually, yeah, we was. But yeah, today's topic is about having a red light district within the United States of America, where we should have several. And I know what everybody is saying, that what's the point of having a red light district? But Jay,
Well, some of y'all want it, so we grown here, and I know some of y'all want it. Just be truthful with yourself. There's places where you could be free, and it's clean there. We all saw little pictures and glimpses of the red light district. They wonder what it would be like there during night, and during the daytime. Is it the same thing? Just like people who never been to the Mardi Gras before. You get different themes. Daytime is more, family oriented and friendly. Night times is when the freaks come out.
basically, cause like we was thinking about it, cause like we can't speak for other cities, but we were actually considering other cities as well, because I know what everybody's saying of going, well, where would it be? Vegas somewhat got it, but yeah, Vegas is like an automatic. Let's leave Vegas out of any red light district, because we all know they got the Bunny Ranch. They do things there. So what? I mean,
so that's like almost the first one here, but it's only part of what the one in Amsterdam is like. All they have is the controlled, legalized prostitution there. They don't have the areas of legal and medicinal marijuana,
exactly,
as they call it. But they got half of it, so we could figure places like Colorado. What's the other one they had the big thing out when it was 420? Was that Seattle? It was Seattle. So.
Yeah.
They can be like a green light district,
right?
If you know what I mean. So you have a green light district there, and and it's just, it doesn't deal with prostitution. It just deal with basically legal medicinal weed, man.
Right.
And you just get high.
And look, and that was the thing, because like some of the research that we end up looking up, it wasn't much. I mean, it was kind of like the Vegas saying of whatever happens in Amsterdam, stay in Amsterdam. It was facts and stuff that we end up finding out. Like, let's focus on the cannabis part of having a red light district, where
green light district.
Oh yeah, sorry, green light district. But see, when you actually add the pink, you know what? Nah, that's a different story. Okay, but no, with the green light district, is truly one of them things of, like, we end up looking at a place in Amsterdam called Coffee Shop Any Day. They had so much stuff where I was sitting back looking, I'm not even.
Neither one of us are partakers of this stuff, but
right?
It made us think about, had us scratching our head like, I want to try some of that,
right? And it was one of them.
They had a bong,
right?
Billy Bong Thornton. This thing lit up like the 4th of July when when they was doing draws from it.
But see, it was even that they was naming weeds that
and were smiling about it. Like,
Right.
these guys really knew their stuff, and they give you a menu. We're not talking like a little McDonald's dollar menu. These guys had like a Roof Crisp menu, where they
Yeah.
even had a special of the day.
Right. And it was just like, because we were just sitting here looking at amazement of going, how they was just naming so much stuff, and I'm looking going, the Amsterdam White Widow, never heard of it, so that should show you that I don't partake. But it was just so much stuff that they had, and I'm looking going, wow, this is amazing. This is so like unique because it's legalized there, and the reason why I say you might as well just do it here, because statistics do show in Colorado that the crime went down, but the trafficking went up due to everybody trying to get out of Colorado with all the weed.
So they're trafficking drugs out of Colorado.
Right. And my thing is, if you just legalize it, yeah, it could do a big problem. But this is what I said before of going, well, guess what? If you actually be a parent to your kids, you actually let your kids know, hey, well, you can't really do this, but you could legalize it. That way, you don't have to spend all your tax money to actually go, okay, well, we don't want the weed, but, clean up the streets. Well, guess what? Clean up the streets is probably weed dealers, and you're looking going, okay, well, I'm going to pay for them to have a free ride in jail.
And that's not fair. I mean, because a weed dealer or any type of drug dealer actually never did anything to me.
Yeah.
Now, not to say that I condone what they're doing, but I understand, because certain people don't have certain privileges, and that's not a secret. So they try to find a way out. And as far as drugs go, I mean, the OTC that everybody has taken before and will continue to take is aspirin.
Yeah.
You can overdose on that, but it's legal to buy. You don't even have to be a certain age to buy it. And then you have a kid who, with all this bullying going on in schools nowadays. And
yeah.
I don't know where all this came from, but a lot of these kids nowadays are punks.
Yeah.
In our days, there was no such thing as suicide. This is something new that they invented.
I mean, but no, it was. But
it was like on a grand scale of like how it is now. I mean, you probably heard of one person that found out they were adopted, not because of bullying.
Right. Or either they just had.
I'm talking about, suicide through bullying being something new.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Kids retaliated back in our day.
I remember fighting people.
Yeah, it was fighting people, and you had a gun or two, and a knife. But see, that's as far as in when you didn't do damage to yourself because of somebody called you a whatever they call people nowadays. But
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
We old. I guess we old and
we're
grown.
We're getting old and we're getting off topic here. So
right. But
back to the green light district. So Colorado statistics is getting kind of fluffed because they say the crime has went down. So that means that the major crime that they were following up with was drugs.
Right.
Mainly weed.
Yeah.
That's kind of like saying how to get rid of obesity in America, all you got to do is just raise the obesity level up. Instead of it being 10 pounds overweight, you just raise it up to 50 and you got, wow, we did something right. Obesity in America is down.
Right.
60%.
Right. And that's why I was looking at it going okay, you did all that, you raised up everything. So my thing is, for this country to actually get a little kickback like what Amsterdam is doing, not saying that we have to be like Amsterdam, but we supposed to be the greatest country on earth, which means that
they're doing something right.
Right. My thing is,
you see somebody doing something right, you copy it and then you tweak. And
right, because my thing is, you can bring in so much, because people will want to do stuff with the United States where you will have a grander scheme of things with money and all that stuff coming in just for shipping, even though you will have to buy, but see, even that, everybody know you can do face value, because that's like with anything. You could take the cities and the suburbs, let's face it, fast food restaurants are cheaper in the suburbs than they are in the city. Why? Because it's all about location, and it was something else, but I can't think of it right now.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, supply and demand. They know, like, it's scary, but like how Jay was saying, it's one of them things of you raise the obesity up, which means that the families that actually would sit down and cook will actually just go grab a pizza for $5 or go to the dollar menu or like from McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, or wherever just to feed the family.
And it's convenient and easy and cheap.
Exactly.
And it is that way for a reason. We're not going to get in all the GMOs and all this altered meats and
right
sand fillers and all that, but
and that's why it's even now, because like the next issue is, okay, well, because you bring in a green light district with that, okay, with the, let's just call it what it is, the pink light district. You know what I'm saying? Or either like if just like everybody go for that strawberry starburst that's in the pack, everybody, and everybody know what I'm saying is true. You go for the strawberry because you go, I like the strawberry better than the orange, the yellow, and the cherry.
I'm a rebel. I like the cherry.
See, well, see, I like strawberry.
But I was allergic to strawberries, though. So
look, but that's
that one scared me.
Look, but you get what I'm saying. But no, like there, like I said, we found out doing research with Amsterdam that yeah, everybody look at the red light district and go, ooh, oh gosh, you know, women at your disposal. We saw where they was talking about the women that you see in the mirrors, like in the windows advertising. Yeah, some of them are forced. Some of them are due to human trafficking and all that stuff. And it's kind of sad because, like I said, as the United States, we could actually do something better. Where the thing that actually made sense to me was, yeah, you could put a red light district into every state and just have them state workers work there, where the tax money go back into the into that state.
And then that's what it's all about. It's all about the government getting this cut. Uncle Sam. And the reason that weed has such a bad what's the word I'm looking for, connotations, is because
Yeah.
A long time ago somebody figured out, hey, we could use hemp for paper.
Yep.
And it grows a lot faster and it takes less space.
Mm-hmm.
And then a rich white guy with a timber yard said, hey, I'm starting to come up a little light. Hey, Mr. President, this stuff is bad, okay?
Right.
Just say it, and I'll give you this hot million real quick.
Okay.
And then ever since then, you had propaganda on it being bad and terrible for you, but well, let's just look at these this vaginal mesh they had come up with.
Yeah,
that's actually killing people, you know.
Right.
It just kills. And you can't, or not one person you can name to date overdosed on Mary Jane. Not one person. There's a lot of people that has alcohol poisoning.
Yep.
I remember Pimp C one time saying he ate so many shrimp he got iodine poisoning.
Yeah, yeah.
So eating too many shrimp are bad for you out here.
Right. I mean, everything, like,
anything good is too bad. I mean, you know, there's even water toxicity, you know, where you drink too much of it can become bad. You know, your body is like the earth, you know, from which we come from which we return, you know.
Yeah.
It's 75% water?
You know what?
We're gonna say 75% because I like that
I think
number.
It was 70.
70, 75.
Yeah, we'll just say that.
Let me slide with the 5, man. And,
go ahead, man.
You know,
go ahead.
The body is like made up of the same thing too.
Right.
You know, so the body is fragile. You only got a certain, I'm gonna call it the Goldilocks number of things as you can do to it to where it just goes out on you.
Yeah.
Now, do I condone somebody just because it's legal to just smoke weed every day?
No.
You know, but
I don't. Look,
Should you go to jail for it though? I don't agree with that.
I mean, and yeah, that's
And this all came from a rich guy that started losing profit from a timber yard.
yeah, and that's why I just said like, and that's why I go even with that like so much of our so much of our
Resources and stuff. I
and
mean, you got SWAT teams out here picking up high school kids for selling weed.
yeah, and the thing is, if you just legalize it, and that's the same thing, adding the pink and green. Oh, well, either way, I'm not talking about right. I'm talking about the district. I'm not talking about the yeah. Anyway, but like if what colors do pink and green make? They, you know what? Let's just do what you said before. Blue light district. If they got the red light district, we could have the blue light district where you set it up in every city.
And each one has its own specialty.
Right, because I guarantee you, like with us in Michigan, Detroit, you can set it up. Like, I love the locations of everything, but if you really want to make Detroit stand out here, guess what? I'm not saying nothing. We have strip clubs in residential neighborhoods that could actually move to downtown and then just move the churches into them residential neighborhoods because guess what? Now you done separated. I understand this is the place where we serve the Lord and we shouldn't move. But my thing is, if this is the place that you serve the Lord, then guess what? You shouldn't get mad when you stay right down the street from the strip club and you saying it shouldn't be in a residential. Why don't you try to argue the factor of bring our church closer and then end up pushing the strip clubs to entertainment? Because look, we have what? All four major sports teams. You know what I'm saying? 3 of them of our 4 sports teams is in downtown Detroit, which means that you can set up a nice little area where it's police, all that stuff, because all that revenue coming in from people that's coming from out of town and all that
even
stuff.
Out of country, you know,
right?
You got the Canadian border right there,
right? And they can come over and go, ooh, the Maple Leafs is watching the Wings. Okay, let's go from Toronto to Detroit to let's see the Maple Leafs, and guess what? Now, ooh, they got entertainment here, which means that they have a red light district where you have the strip clubs that where the state quote unquote tax, where you can make it where I understand selling your body, and I know the feedback I might get is, well, if you had a daughter, she wouldn't be there. Well, guess what?
Yeah, see, now here's the thing with that. Now, everybody sells their body.
Yeah.
Now, it might not go for an exact price, and you're not exactly getting money for, and getting services or whatever, but everybody wants to attract somebody. And then when courtship happens, somebody's paying the bills for these dates. Nobody's just going out for walks on the park anymore, and then, you get a kiss on the cheek and then you're back home.
Yeah.
So there is a price. I ain't saying you're messing with a broke one.
But I mean, and
you only go to the Kanye song with that. But
yeah, but it's one of them. That's why me and Money touched on that last week's episode about the difference between an a-hole and a gentleman, because that was one of them things.
And it's a fine line.
It really is.
And to get people who's offering things to you, not forcefully.
Mm-hmm.
You're forced to have health insurance now.
Yep.
Or else you're going to get penalized. You're forced to have the military that goes over and bombs people you never even heard of before. I never even heard of Benghazi before until this year. Exactly.
I mean,
I couldn't find this place on a map.
Look, cause I ain't doing that just to be a a-hole, but it's one of them.
Nobody, you never heard. None of you guys heard of it. If you did, you heard it in Modern Warfare or your
Call of Duty
or Splinter Cell or something like that. But you probably thought it was like, Neverland. You didn't think this place was real, but until you played it. But you're forced to have that, and then things that you can say no to, and they leave you alone. It's like a prostitute could come to you, say, "Hey, the big boy, you want to have a go?"
Right.
No. Oh, okay then.
I mean, and then that's why I said, even with the factor of, like how I said, when it comes to the strip clubs and all that stuff, when everybody busts out and go, well, I don't want my kids knowing about that. Well, guess what? Your kids gonna know about it. You might as well school them now instead of. And if you really didn't want to, if you really want to quote unquote keep them sheltered, then you should make a fuss about getting the strip club out the residential neighborhood and putting it downtown with the entertainment instead of saying, well, I like my church being here in the heart of places. Because like I said, you could really clean up a lot of money. You can actually, the United States can truly pay off their debt to China, right?
Yeah, China, parts of the Middle East over
Right.
there.
They can pay off so much stuff if they just open, like, not open the door or open their legs like some cheap whore. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying? If it's like, if you truly have it organized and you have it to the factor of, like, you make a little blue light district union where, okay, during this time and this time, y'all are not to be seen, heard, blah, blah, blah. The blue light district starts at midnight here in Michigan, or, you know what I'm saying, in,
or what have you.
right. You can set up the time and then you can tell the time when it cuts off. Guess what?
It's just like last call.
Right.
Which is what now? 1?
I thought it was 2 still here.
All right, well, 2.
All right.
So you got last call, you got early call for like green light, blue light district.
Right.
Well, they just recently changed. Is it this month? The drinking age. It's 25 now.
It's 25?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just changed it. Now they're going to give you some type of medical mumbo jumbo, for some reason that now it's 25. But even you go to places like Italy, you got a 12-year-old drinking a glass of wine with the family.
Look, I was in Jamaica and I came back and told you, I was like, dude, they was letting 12-year-old females come into the club with grown men. So what's that telling you? And you could buy a pack of cigarettes at 9.
Yeah, so to say, and then another weird thing is that people outside this country have their problems.
Yeah, they do.
But are they having as many birth defects as we are here?
Nah, not really.
So there's something going on with that. But again, going off the subject, but districts.
But look, that could actually set up for another show of conspiracies. So
is it really a conspiracy if it's the truth though? I mean, numbers don't. Men and women lie. Numbers don't.
I know, but people are trying to figure out a way to say it was shaking stuff. You know how it works. But it's still one of them. That's why I said, if you do that, you can legalize something. Because, like, this is what we trying, like, honestly, what it's boiling down to. Yeah, the hard drugs, yeah, don't legalize that because it's truly one of them things of, yeah, them are hard drugs. They actually lead to problems like meth, what's that, cocaine, heroin. That leads to a downward spiral. And that's why when I always heard...
That only depends on the person, really, because who's to say anything can lead to something? There's some people out there that's done heroin and just strictly done that and are still alive today.
Yeah.
And there's some people that just strictly does crack. You got your meth heads out there, your coke heads, you got your acid droppers, and what's this new one out now?
Molly.
Woo!
Yeah. But, and that's why I just, like, even with that, that's why I said it's just fun. Like, to me, it's funny because I was always told as a kid, weed is a gateway drug to harder drugs. Okay, but my thing is,
so what led to, they didn't come out the womb doing this.
Exactly.
Like, who came out the womb and had a crack pipe? I don't see nobody with a birth certificate with their footprint and a crack pipe.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
something else is a gateway that led them to that.
And that's why I said I find it funny that But see, like I said, this would be getting off topic. This is another thing where it's truly one of them, like how you said earlier. I never heard of anybody ODing off weed. I heard of people ODing off other drugs, man-made drugs.
Even aspirin, something that helps you.
That's supposed to get rid of headaches, muscle spasms, all that good stuff. And yet again, like I said,
and you can buy. There's no age limit. You can buy this over the counter.
Right, and that's why I'm looking, going. Basically, what it boils down to is, if the United States truly want to get out of its deficit, well, actually, let's not even talk about the United States. Let's talk about where we stay, Michigan. If Michigan really don't want to be the laughing stock, yeah, we will be the laughing stock because, yeah, see how bad Michigan is because they got a blue light district, blah, blah, blah. But you know how much stuff that we could actually profit off that, and then two, like,
but then I mean, you know, the people who will be looking at it bad is like the generation, like our grandparents and our parents' generation.
Which is true, but see,
our generation down, this will be the spot to be
in. Yeah, but see, even with that, me and my mother had a discussion about it where me and her debated when I told her we need to have like a red light district so we could make the money up where Detroit didn't have to go bankrupt. She said, well, she even argued, said, well, why gotta be in Detroit? It could be in Royal Oak or one of the suburban things. And I said, it don't matter. It can be. Because my whole thing is, it could be in whatever city here in Michigan, they would still do it. I was just looking at it as, because we have entertainment stuff.
And people know Detroit. Nobody outside of this southeastern Michigan heard of Royal Oak.
Yeah.
You know, somebody from Benton Harbor, you know, they say they're going to come to Detroit. They don't know Royal Oak.
They don't know what Livonia, Westland,
or Southfield, you know, or Novi. They don't know none of that.
Because look, I can guarantee you, on the west side of Michigan, the only thing I know is Jackson and then Benton Harbor.
Well, you got Grand Rapids considered.
But yeah, you know,
Kalamazoo too, right? Kazoo.
I think so.
Yeah.
But see, right there, that shows you right there that we stay in this state, and it's still one of them mystery to us. But
yeah, so main attractions should be in main cities.
Right. And that's why we was looking, because like with Detroit, we was looking at it like when I said I had that discussion with my mom, she said, well, they shouldn't do that, blah blah blah. And I looked at her and said, okay, well then you think of an idea to make money. When she started thinking about it, she went, that's the only thing that do make sense. She was like, as bad as it sounds, it makes sense. And yes, there is people that's out here that's go probably look at this show especially and say, well, wow, you wouldn't know because you don't have a daughter, this.
Okay, but there's going to be men selling their body like there are men now selling their body. You can go down Woodward and they're...
You know they don't know what Woodward is, but it's a main street here in Michigan. I mean,
some of y'all know where it's at. Some of y'all been over there. Yeah. Especially at night. Some of you guys don't play. You know Deja Vu over there? Okay. Those are guys out there. Not all of them are women.
Yeah.
Some of those are men. They could cut bread with their jawline, okay?
But yeah.
I seen them.
But yeah, and that's why I said, for that, it should be one of those things of, the ideal is blue light district. It's a go on us because you can make so much money by doing that. And
you can stop a lot of the crap. I mean, some of these kids is going to jail for
dumb stuff.
For weed?
Look, and honestly, I hate to say it, and it's some of these girls out here, like, is going to jail for prostitution where, yeah, if you... That is messed up, because I do feel, yeah, a girl should be 18, but guess what? A lot of parents out here know that they kick their daughters out for just random dumb stuff, so it's whatever. But that's it for today's show. I would like to truly thank my boy, my ying to my yang, my ace boon coon, Jay. Finally got you on the show. I appreciate it. Since this was me and his idea, I was just the more driven one. He was the more person that could actually help start it. Um, with that, any final words for the people?
So long, humans.
See, there you go with that human stuff. But yeah, I am the merchandise Eddie Stanley. This have been Caution Real Radio. You can actually catch us on Twitter at Caution Real Radio 7. Or no, Caution Real Radio. Or no, Caution Radio. Caution Real Radio.
Do you even get on the Twitter?
Maybe. But the Caution Real Radio 7 is the Gmail. Also, shouts out to Full Vision Production for actually just giving us the music and all that good stuff. Find us on Facebook, Twitter at Caution Radio, and I have been the merchandise Eddie Stanley, and I'll holla at y'all later.